Oh, so we're going to talk some football now. The last two quarterfinals in the Carabao Cup were played earlier on Wednesday. Southampton hosting Manchester City, while Nottingham Forest faced Wolves in 2 All-Premier League ties. Let's see highlights first from Southampton versus City.
It's Manchester City who get the ball rolling. The 100th meeting. One back by Lianco, marauding forward. Goal by Mara! Well, the goalkeeper headed it away. Ward-Prowse lost possession, and you wondered if City would launch a dangerous counter. But look at Lianco there, spotting the opportunity to make an interception, and the perfect ball in. Here comes Southampton again, Genepo. He'll go for it! Oh, what a goal! Absolutely phenomenal! Ortega off his line and paid the price. What a first half this is proving to be from Southampton. He saw the goalkeeper's position. Only actually lost one of them. Grealish, beautiful touch. Away from Lianco, who dived in. Grealish might take it on. Deflected behind. Can't get it back though. Joao Cancelo with the cross. Another header from Lianco. Foden. Jar went to that one. Rodri and Haaland might have just got a slight touch on that.
Yeah, former Barbados international Nick Blackman joins us now. He was in Manchester, but the City team having no luck here and a bad result for them. Nick, welcome to the SportsMax Zone. First of all, what went wrong for Man City? Because they were trailing 2-0 before the half hour, which means that they had more than an hour to correct what went wrong, but they weren't able to.
Yeah, I think Pep Guardiola, he's made a couple of changes and he's brought in a couple of players who weren't expected to start in the 11, who we're not familiar with seeing in the starting 11, in Calvin Phillips, in the youngster in Cole Palmer, also Sergio Gomez playing left back. And I think they were totally taken by surprise, obviously Southampton's league position, and they've come out, Southampton, absolutely fearless, young, energetic, and in the first half it could have been more than 2 goals and they thoroughly deserved to go through.
Yeah, well, De Bruyne and Haaland were brought in after the half-time break, but still no fight back from Manchester City. What does that say about how well Southampton defended? Because they did. Yeah,
Pep brought the big boys on in the second half. So obviously you know how much it meant for him. Obviously he wanted to get to a final and gather another bit of silverware on his collection. So Southampton soaked it up fantastically well, and they weren't afraid. They didn't go on the back foot. They carried on attacking City, and they were fantastic tonight.
Yeah, and a quick word on Southampton manager Nathan Jones. He's been at the helm for a short period of time, but he seems to be doing well now with this win.
Yeah, I think this win is a massive confidence booster for not only himself but the football club. It's very difficult as a player or a manager coming in and taking over a side mid-season, and then on top of that with the World Cup coming in place. So he's not had too long on the training field in terms of to implement his own ideas, but it's a fantastic step in the right direction. They've got some fantastic young players, and fingers crossed if he can get a few more wins and bide his time and the board stick by him, he can do some fantastic things there.
Yeah, I'm reading a lot of criticism about Pep now after this loss, saying that, this is the worst game that he has ever presided over. Your take on those comments?
Yeah, we're also familiar seeing Pep Guardiola get to finals and win trophies. There's going to be the question mark, maybe did he take Southampton too lightly? So that's always going to be up for debate. I think he's given squad players in there who he would expect to want to take their chance. He had Alvarez who came in tonight. He's a World Cup winner with Argentina. So he failed to take his chance this evening, and so did the rest of the players.
Usually, Nick, this is a competition that a City has, well, not usually, this is a competition that City has owned in the Guardiola era. Ahead of the Manchester derby, do you think this could in some way give Pep the motivational speech that he would have otherwise had to make ahead of the Manchester derby on Saturday, because clearly the boys who didn't start will want to get back into the team and prove their worth, and the team will not want to register 2 consecutive defeats. So could it work in their advantage by Saturday afternoon is done?
I don't think it's ideal preparation to go into, being perfectly honest. I think they would have taken the victory and it would have kept the morale really high. But coming into a derby game, kind of form is always thrown out the window for these games. So it's going to be very interesting come the weekend to see how they get on and how they bounce back. But for sure, they'll definitely want to put a reaction in and get the 3 points, which is the most important thing.
You handled a Nathan Jones question just now. And look, the fact is that their last Premier League game, he was booed mercilessly by the crowd at St. Mary's. When he walked out and he was applauding the crowd, he was met by a wall of boos. James Ward-Prowse was seen on the pitch, angrily screaming at his teammates to at least applaud the crowd before they went in. So tough times at St. Mary's, and then in the next game you come and you beat the best team in England. I mean, this kind of yo-yo kind of performance that Southampton is putting in.
Yeah, I think it comes with the territory, obviously. It's a results-based business. I think the main thing that they have to focus on is putting in performances, and those will then turn into results like they have done this evening. And then I think you'll start to see the Southampton crowd start to turn and really get behind the boys and almost be that extra player, as you well say. So I think that's the most important thing. And the fans, if they're not happy, they're going to let you know. And Nathan Jones knows what he's walking into. He's walking into a fantastic football club with fantastic history of producing amazing players. And they play a certain style of football. And the Southampton fans want to see that. So the demand is there for him.
Okay, Nick, stick with us because we're going to the other game now. Forest and Wolves playing out an entertaining tie. 3 goals in this one. Let's see what happened there.
It is Wolves who get us underway, kicking from right to left in this opening half. Flicked off the crossbar somehow and then poked in by Willy Bolly. Drops kindly for him. He reacts quickly. Given away to Semedo, and Wolves can break. It's Raul Jimenez steering a peach of a cross in. Henderson with a one-handed stop to deny Hwang. Jimenez again. A toe poke at goal, and Henderson behind it once more. Here's Nelson Semedo for Wolves. Hwang, lovely touch. Mateus. Cunha. Played in low, brilliant. Raul Jimenez equalises for Wolves. That was put on a plate for Raul Jimenez. A lovely move, all started by Hwang. Mateus Cunha across goal. And it will be a penalty shootout to decide which one of these two sides will go to the semi-finals. The first penalty of the shootout is saved by Sarr. Neves denied by Henderson. It's Morgan Gibbs White. Stuttered run up. He squeezed it in though. This to make it 3-3 in the shootout. Nicely done. That really will put the pressure on Wolves. And he has scored it straight down the middle. If this doesn't go in, Wolves are going out. And it hasn't gone in. Dean Henderson is the hero. He saves another spot kick, and Nottingham Forest are on their way to the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup.
Yeah, Dean Henderson, the shootout hero there, and what a performance in goal, Nick.
Yeah, fantastic performance from Dean Henderson. Obviously, he's got a really high calibre. He's very well thought of in England. He's been included in a lot of England training camps and England squads, so I think he's got a very bright future coming from Manchester United as well.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because of the loan rules issue where he may not be able to play against Manchester United.
Yeah, unfortunately, that seems to be the issue when with the loan rules. I'm sure he'll be desperately disappointed and wanting to prove to his parent club what he can do. So putting in performances like this is not going to do any harm, and fingers crossed he can carry on doing this for Nottingham Forest and they can go further on in the competition and keep pushing on in the league as well.
Yeah, I was about to talk about the impact that some of these knockout matches could have on the league itself, because we saw Southampton with a good result just now. They're currently bottom of the table, and they've got a couple of new signings in this week to bolster their setup. Can some of these performances here in the Carabao Cup propel their league performances?
Yeah, most definitely. I think it can galvanise a squad, and you can gain a lot of confidence. And obviously in Nottingham Forest's case, they beat Wolves, so Wolves are down there as well with them, and it's gonna dampen Wolves' morale as well, because they're on a charge to try and get out of relegation trouble as well. So most definitely, I think the most wins you can get, and as many wins as you can get in football, is what you want ultimately, and that breeds confidence.
Nick, and a quick preview into the semi-finals. We have Manchester United up against Newcastle, and Southampton will be playing Nottingham Forest. How do you see these matches going?
I think it's going to be very, very interesting. I think you'd be crazy to go against Manchester United as well at the moment with that man of the moment in Marcus Rashford. I think it's going to be a fantastic fixture, and obviously you'd expect him to stamp his name all over the tie.
Okay, Nick, we're going to leave it there. Thanks for joining us, and have yourself a good rest of the week and weekend. And we'll be back with more on the SportsMax Zone after this.